to another exciting edition of Convention Confessional. I am your host, Katy Hunt, and what we do here is we get some friends to come on, or I myself just tell wonderful stories from our past convention experiences, ranging anywhere from elevator disasters to terrible roommates to even some guest appearances, and dealing with all sorts of different problems and everything else. And today I am so happy that I get to hear some experiences from my friend Pat. Hey Patrick, how are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on here. Elizabeth was talking about AnimeCons TV and FanCons the last time she was on here, and I was like, well, here's the guy himself. If you'd like to introduce yourself, feel free to.
Yeah, I'm Patrick Delahanty. I run AnimeCons.com, which we've expanded into FanCons.com, and we also have been doing the AnimeCons TV podcast. It's a video podcast. We've been doing that since 2009, so
Wow, it's really been that
we're in
long.
season 13, I think.
Wow. I didn't know it had been
Yeah.
that long. My God.
Yeah.
Wow. Sweet.
I'm old.
No. You're not old. I promise you're not old. We may joke about it, but you're not.
Yeah.
Also, you guys still doing the Chibi Project?
No, we retired that
Ah.
a few years ago.
But that was also amazing.
Yeah, just destroying toys for no good reason.
No good reason. So, Patrick, dear, what brings you to Convention Confessional today, besides, my asking?
Well, I probably would have hit my 200th convention in 2000,
Good.
or 2020 if, things were normal.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. But yeah, I've done well over 100 conventions, like 180 something, I think. And so,
Believe it, you've been to a bunch, yeah.
in the course of going to those conventions, I've had things happen and I've witnessed things. So yeah, I got a few stories.
I'm so excited. I'm so ready. I was gonna say, like, if anybody in our friends group was going to have stories like from conventions that might teeter on like the horror story, it would have had to have been you. I mean, hi, you run a whole website that talks about like every convention that's run in the world. So I mean,
yeah,
you're my man.
People assume I go to all of those. I'm like, are you kidding? There's like 15 on the same weekend. It's physically impossible.
That's not true. If you had a time turner like Hermione Granger, you could do it.
I had better things to do than go to some of these conventions, including the one I'm going to talk about today.
Oh my God. Well, please, by all means, the floor is yours.
Well, let me start. I was at a convention called LumaCon. It was a small comic convention put on in Petaluma, California, by local librarians, and it would encourage kids to read and create art. And it's a great con. I reported on it for AnimeCons TV, and as I said in the report, I hope it inspires other similar conventions around the country. All the local libraries teamed up, and it was great. They put on a great event. But while I was there, I witnessed something which it made me uncomfortable that I didn't mention in my report on that con. Someone came around distributing slightly larger than business card size pieces of paper, so teeny little pieces of paper with information about Wine Country Comic Con. And so this is in Sonoma County, wine country, so okay, makes sense.
Yep.
I had added it to the con database on fancons.com, so I was at least familiar with the name, and I knew I wouldn't be attending because it was scheduled for the same weekend as Kraken Con, which was my favorite Bay Area convention, maybe even my favorite West Coast convention.
Really?
So I didn't think much of it, and I went about my business. Some people hand out flyers all the time. So a few hours later, I was there with my wife, and she had an artist alley table. So a few hours later, she was doing a panel, I think. And I was sitting at the table, bored, because nobody wants to buy stuff if the artist's not there.
Right.
So I'm sitting there looking at this tiny little flyer, and a guy comes up to me and says, or he accused the guy of running Wine Country Comic Con of running a charity scam.
Oh. What?
He didn't give his name, but he introduced himself as the organizer of Santa Rosa Toy Con.
Okay.
And that's located in the same town or the same city that Wine Country Comic Con was going to be held in, Santa Rosa. So he told me that the organizer of Wine Country Comic Con went to Santa Rosa Toy Con's Facebook page, sent invites to everybody there, And before I could get 2 words in, this guy walks off, and so
Like he
clearly
just
he wasn't.
disappears in a cloud of
He's
smoke.
just here to badmouth another convention and not interested in any sort of discussion, and just making sure everybody knows that this. I think this new con's on some kind of scam. So, like, whatever.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you, random stranger.
yeah, and so I'm sure the person who gave me this really crappy little flyer, like this tiny little thing, you can't even do a full page. Come on. Uh, I'm sure neither they nor this competing conventions organizer knew who I was and that I ran fancons.com. So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they were just going up to everybody and saying this. And it came off to me as completely distasteful
Hmm.
that they would just walk up to strangers, trash somebody else's con, and then move on. Especially like these cons are in the same city, but they're 5 months apart.
Right. Like
There's
they're not gonna
plenty
like
of yeah,
fuck
and they're
with
not
each
huge
other.
cons.
Right.
They're not huge cons. Plenty of room for multiple events.
Yeah.
5 months apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, the accusation was so uncomfortable, reflected so badly that I made a vague blog post about it on fancons.com to just discourage other convention organizers from doing the same thing. I didn't mention names or conventions because it really wasn't important. I just said, hey, don't go around at a con and badmouth another con. And
Right.
just,
Like don't be a dick.
yeah. And, I posted that vague blog post and I never expected there to be anything more to the story. Oh,
Oh my God.
let's dig this hole. Now, throughout the end of December and early 2016, I was seeing a lot of Facebook posts in various cosplay and artist groups for California and the Bay Area. They were spamming about Wine Country Comic Con at least once a week. One of the most prolific spammers was named Frida Avila. And a friend of mine noticed that these posts were in multiple other groups, and she did some Google searches based on the images found in Frida's relatively new Facebook profile.
Okay.
And she found that all the photos of Frida were actually photos of a Ukrainian cosplayer named Liza Kosketskaya. And so Frida was fake.
Oh no, it's a catfish.
They're not catfish. They're just trying to sell this con as, just some anonymous cosplayer, oh, look at me.
Oh, okay,
Look
okay,
at all
okay,
my
sure,
cosplayer. You
sure.
should go to this con. It's great. And so, okay, this person's fake.
Lie.
And so I figured, okay, there's probably more to this. But I was busy with work and stuff, and we were about to have babies, so I didn't have time to look into it. But I tipped off the Nerd and Tie website, and I let them know about the flyer and the fake Facebook profiles, and I figured, hey, if you guys want to look into this, go ahead. And boy, did they! On February 24th, so a few weeks after LumaCon, Trey Doran posted an article which exposed that fake account, and not long after that, the account was deleted, which is either an amazing coincidence or it's pretty much a confirmation that it's fake and you're trying to cover up your tracks.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And so the organizer of Santa Rosa Toy Con jumps into the contents or the comments of that article with the names of other potential fake accounts. And they also claimed that they had a letter from the charity that Wine Country Comic Con planned to donate to.
Yeah.
And the charity said they weren't affiliated with the convention and asked them to stop using their name.
What?
So, okay, now we've got fake profiles. We've got potentially charity fraud. And so a few days later, Nerd and Tie published a follow-up article with some amazingly fascinating details. They found 6 more fake Facebook accounts. They also found reviews of the convention, which hadn't taken place yet, by those accounts and by the organizer of the convention himself. So just, never review your own stuff. If you have a convention or a restaurant or a podcast or a book, don't review your own stuff.
No.
Don't even make a fake name, because if people find out, that's really bad. So anyway, this guy, he had always promoted his Wine Country Comic Con as a charitable event. He started it by saying it would benefit the Early Learning Institute. And Nerd and Tie reached out and found they had no affiliation with this Early Learning Institute. And later they changed the language that says he's building an early learning center. and no, they didn't list a specific charity. So this is it's a little fishy.
It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, the organizer of Wine Country Comic Con had an organization named after himself for outreach strategies, and he in the logo for this organization he used the Attack on Titan Survey Corps insignia as his logo.
What?
So he's just blatantly stealing Attack on Titan graphics, saying, "Oh, this is my logo." And after the article was published, quickly took down the website for maintenance. What a coincidence!
Wow, weird.
Uh, and the company's Facebook page
Uh-huh.
for his outreach strategies changed into another Wine Country Comic Con page. So like, oh no, nothing to see here.
Pay no attention to that Facebook page behind the curtain.
Yeah. So meanwhile, the organizer of Santa Rosa Toy Con is collecting the links to all these Nerd and Tie articles and uh, posting them at any opportunity he can get to make everybody aware of this. Similar to what I experienced from him in person at the LumaCon event when he came up to me.
Mhm.
He's just going on to every forum possible and say, "Hey, look at this, look at this." And so, I mean, even though they're doing shady things, it's going a little overboard, and it still comes off as bad mouthing competition and seems pretty unprofessional.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how it came to me, how it came off to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
And so then what happens is a Facebook group shows up called Comic Con Controversy. And it started by just discussing cyberbullying, fine.
Fine. Yeah.
But quickly it changed into outright accusing the Santa Rosa Toy Con guy of being a cyberbully.
What?
And that they're saying that the negative articles were because of him. Like, no, they were written by Nerd and Tie,
Right.
and they didn't make. It's obviously not the Santa Rosa Toy Con guy that's making up fake Facebook profiles to give good reviews to the con he's trying to badmouth. So, no, it's.
No.
Yeah, so the creator of this Comic Con controversy group tried to stay anonymous,
Mhm.
but an article on Bleeding Cool revealed, because this is expanding way beyond Nerd and Tie now, it's on Bleeding Cool,
Mhm.
and it revealed that the author left too many clues to his identity, and they figured out who it was.
Oh god.
And this guy ended up being the president of the Roseland Lions Club, and it's the same Lions Club to which the Wine Country Comic Con organizer belongs. So he's got one of his Lions Club friends to make this Comic Con controversy Facebook group and accuse the Santa Rosa guy of. Yeah. So.
Oh no.
Yeah. So this is. It's getting confusing here, but there's a lot of back and forth. But anyway, throughout all of this, Wine Country Comic Con's guest list had been changing so often that it was really hard for me to keep up with, because on fan cons I would list all the guests going to a convention.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're adding some and then they're removing them. It's so quickly I can't keep up. There ended up being 17 guest cancellations.
What?
Out of a list of 22.
So they had like a whole 5 guests, maybe.
Yep, they had 5. They also didn't tell people when guests would cancel. They just take them off the list.
Now, is this just strictly an anime convention, or was this like a multi-genre convention?
Well, they call themselves Comic Con, but it's one of those Comic Cons. It's just pop culture.
Right.
It's
Right.
everything.
Okay.
Come enjoy yourself. We'll take your money. We don't care what you're interested in.
Right. Just
come
show
give us
up.
money. Yeah. But yeah, they were canceling guests and not announcing it. Like Christina V announced on Twitter on April 16th that she wouldn't be attending,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't take her off the list until the day before the con on April 22nd. It's like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And also, the organizer of Wine Country Comic Con threatened the agent for several of the canceled guests, like with bodily harm. He said it'd be a really bad idea if you or any of your family came to Wine Country. It'd be hazardous to you. Like, okay, you got to get the police involved at that point. But
yeah.
I guess they just wrote off, said, "Yeah, we're not going to your con. Don't worry about it."
Wow.
So a lot of the guests that Wine Country did end up getting at the end were local guests. Um, and some of the canceled guests ended up going to Kraken Con in Oakland, about an hour away, because they're flying into the area. They might as well go to a con that's going to pay them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of the 5 remaining guests at Wine Country, one of them was former Power Ranger Steve Cardenas,
Okay, yep.
and another was the now former voice actor Vic Mignogna.
Ugh, that word.
So there were pictures of cosplayers and Vic there, and there's like nobody in the background. You can tell this place is vacant.
No.
Now, I expected attendance to be light,
Right.
but at there was one place where they had posted about the con, and they estimated about 25,000 attendees.
What?
Not 2,500, 25,000. Which is ridiculous for a first-year con, especially considering the venue holds 1,200 people max.
Like, wait.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Wait. There's no way.
25,000. Yeah.
Where did they hide them all in that Vic picture?
Yeah, they're invisible.
Yeah. Their costumes are amazing.
Well, this was what they were estimating before the con happened, but I think even after the con, they were saying, "Oh, we had thousands." No, you didn't.
No.
The place holds 1,200 max, and it was not packed.
Did you?
Were they on the roof?
Yeah, right. Parking lot party. Woo!
Yeah. So anyway, there was 2 conventions taking place the same weekend, less than an hour away. Kraken Con in Oakland and Babs Con south of San Francisco. And so that would cut into their attendance. And then the Butter and Egg Day Parade in Petaluma, which is 15 minutes away from Santa Rosa.
Wait, time out. I'm sorry, not to interrupt you. The Butter and Egg what?
The Butter and Egg Day Parade and Festival. This is one of the biggest events in Sonoma County every year. They do a parade. You get the Rancho Obi-Wan Museum with Star Wars cosplayers. You get the comic shop, like veterans. They're all marching the Butter and Egg Day Parade. Petaluma is known for chickens and eggs, so they have a Butter and Egg Day. So it's a thing. But you get thousands of people coming in, and it blocks the traffic on Highway 101.
More people than WineCon.
Yeah, clearly. But I mean, traffic's also bad. Who's going to want to go up to Santa Rosa when you've got traffic there?
That's true.
There couldn't be enough people there.
No way. Now they're all the Butter and Egg convention.
Yeah. Well, it's not a convention. It's a festival.
Well, it's a convention now.
Yeah. So anyway, Wine Country happens. There's obviously not a lot of people there. Then they announced a second event. Now, the first one was a 2-day thing in April.
Sure.
The second one was planned for September the same year. Remember how I said that Wine Country, Comic-Con, and Santa Rosa Toy Con were 5 months apart?
Right. Oh, no.
April plus 5 months is September.
Oh, no.
This guy decided to hold his second convention on the same day as Santa Rosa Toy Con.
What a dick!
There is so much animosity between these two. It's ridiculous.
What is this? Who angered each other? Like, what did you guys do to each other to be this angry?
Well, one's doing some sort of fraud charity, and the other one is just cyberbullying, apparently.
Terrible combination.
Yeah. So now, what was really an unbelievable coincidence to me, and I can actually talk about this now because I've moved.
Right.
The convention where he's going to hold the event was at the Petaluma Veterans Memorial Building, which was literally across the street from my house. So his crappy second con is across the street from my house, and it's free. I used to vote. I would vote at this place. I moved, so you won't find me there anymore.
Right, can't catch me there.
Yeah. But I mean, admission's free. This is too much of an opportunity to pass up. I gotta check out this crappy con.
Right.
So the day of that con, a friend of mine met up in my house, and we walked over. And I got some footage for AnimeCons TV. In this next episode, you can see some footage and some photos. And this place was a train wreck. They had literally 0 guests. Didn't even try. There's a handful of small vendors. They have these huge tables, and the tables are mostly vacant. It's not like it's packed full
Right.
with displays and everything. It's like, all right, there's folding tables,
Sure,
not
sure.
much else. And they had a wall of CRT TVs, like one side of the room. This is just, your typical armory sort of setup, just one big hall
Yeah.
with a stage at one end. And so they had one side of that was full of CRT TVs with Nintendo Wii's and GameCubes, and they were having a Smash Brothers tournament.
Okay.
And there's a $500 prize for the tournament, and then they also had a $500 prize for the costume contest.
Oh, okay.
And admission was free. And so I don't know how much they were pulling off vendors, but it couldn't have been $1,000. So he's losing money on this, plus the hall rental. He's losing money just to try to stick it to Santa Rosa Toy Con.
Right, right.
I didn't stay long because I got super bored after like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It
it's
really
like
wasn't.
you've literally seen everything.
Yeah. One of my coworkers was there because he is into Smash Brothers tournaments and stuff,
Sure.
and he told me that the reason there were a lot of video game players at the tournament was because there's a $500 prize, and one of the like national champions is local.
Oh.
So he brought a bunch of his friends, and they're just there to get the $500.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, there weren't a lot of costumes. So I don't know who got the $500 costume prize, but there's nothing
Vic.
impressive that I saw.
They just mailed it to Vic.
Yeah. You could use the money.
We sure could.
So anyway, we stayed around 10, 15 minutes, and we was like, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And we went up to Santa Rosa Toy Con to check out the competition.
Sure.
Now that con was held at the Sonoma County Fairground, and it had a big fairground building, big hall. Could easily fit several basketball courts in there.
Wow.
It was big. And they had a good selection of guests. They had actors like Kathy Garver from what was this, Spider-Man and Super Friends or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Phil Lamar, Futurama.
Yep.
Lex Lang,
wow.
Nikki Rapp, Catherine Sutherland, Veronica Taylor,
wow.
and Jeffrey Weissman, who is the stand-in for George McFly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then they had a bunch of artists and Star Wars costumers, the 501st and the Rebel Legion were there. A ton of vendors that filled the hall. And, although I had issues with how the organizer conducted himself, promoting his event and tearing down somebody else's event,
right,
whether he deserved it or not, the event wasn't bad. And it was clearly the better of two by far. And I had to pay to get into that one. Still worth it.
Right.
So that's Wine Country Comic Con.
And have they had another year after they had their free day?
They did have posters at their second event promoting their third.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to be in December,
mm-hmm.
and it was going to be held. It just had an address, and I looked it up, and it was a sports card store. Like, oh my God, they're just not even going to try. And then I found out, well, they never updated their Facebook page or their website, so there was never really any promotion of this. Like the first con, he's going crazy on Facebook trying to promote this. This one, it's like he posted the thing, and then that was it. He never posted anything. And then everything just starts disappearing. The website's gone, and then the Facebook page is gone. It's like he's just erasing everything. And a friend of mine told me that they actually checked, and the sports card store they claim they never knew about it, which I find hilarious. You're telling people your next con is going to be at some sports card store. You're doing flyers for it, and you haven't even asked.
Wow.
The other con, Santa Rosa Toy Con, that did get held again in 2017 and 2018. Mm-hmm. Their website went down sometime around 2018, and then he stopped updating Facebook. One of the most recent posts I saw, he was apparently looking for a new venue or something, but mm-hmm. Haven't really been any updates since then. But he probably lucked out because with everything shutting down for COVID-19, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Because, he could have had an event in 2019, but there's no way he could have had anything in 2020.
Wow.
So
yeah, no, because nobody was doing anything last year.
Yeah.
Like Katsucon squeaked it out like by the hair of their teeth, basically.
Yeah, they were so lucky to get it done when they did.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, Kraken Con, I had mentioned, that was an amazing con.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. And I'm speaking past tense because they shut down after 2018. Because Bay Area hotels suck.
Yeah.
They want to charge you large con prices for a medium-sized con.
That's dumb.
You know, they can book events for Dreamforce and companies with a ton of money to throw. So why should they sell cheap to a fan convention?
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, they really had no choice. They were like, yeah, there's no more venue for us to go to. So, oh well. But LumaCon, the library run event in Petaluma, that's still going on.
Yay!
They apparently had a nice con in early 2020, but they had to have a virtual one in 2021.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll be back next year, because my wife and I loved that con.
That's so cute. It's just like all the librarians put a convention together.
Oh, and you know, they have the little parade for all the kids in the costumes.
Butter and eggs, yep.
Well, that's not the same parade, but
it is now. I just assume it's all the same.
If I remember right, some of their logos, because they change the logo every year to some kid design thing, and some of them I think have had chickens in it. It's just fitting for the town. So, and they call it LumaCon because PETA Luma.
Oh.
So, but yeah, it's a good con. I wouldn't recommend flying in to check it out because it's tiny. But you know, anybody in North Bay.
Yeah, local area definitely would want to check that out.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Especially if you get kids, it's perfect for that.
Yeah, we do love a good kid-friendly convention.
But yeah, that's the saga of the weird Wine Country Comic Con.
Wow.
What a horrible failure.
Wow. That's
and then just a fight with Santa Rosa Toy Con constantly. So
it's like, pick your battles, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a train wreck to watch.
It's kind of like watching like Romeo and Juliet. You're just like, I'm sorry, who's the Capulets? Who's...
Oh, but there's no lovers in this situation.
Yeah, it's like there was no couple. There was no love. It was just constant fighting. So basically it was like the two families without like a couple getting together. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's two cosplayers in the night that like ran off into a parking lot somewhere to confess their love to each other.
Let's not think about that.
Hey, we're trying over here. Wow. Well, that's amazing. That is an amazing story. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm finally, now that I've moved, I'm glad I can finally tell people this con was across the street from my house. I mean, that's why I went.
Right. It was literally right there. It's not like I wanted to go. I had to.
I wasted literally zero gas money on getting to this convention.
It sounds like you wasted literally zero money. I mean, free con, that's what you get.
Yeah, I walked across the street.
Right. But like, there's no such thing as a free cat. There's no such thing as a free convention.
Yeah. It's true.
It's true.
Oh, it's free, but you want some autographs?
Yeah.
Hey.
No, that's just Vic on the corner. You want an autograph? Autograph?
I just wanted a picture.
Oh God, yep. We're a Vic dragging podcast, so I've just lost like my 2 followers that I have.
And nothing of value was lost.
Nothing. No. Either that or I wake up and like I have 500 followers suddenly. It's like, what happened? It's all of the people that went to the other convention there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, screw OneCon. Wow. Well, thank you, Patrick, for this amazing story. It's wonderful. I love every minute of it. That was a ride. Is there anything anything you'd like to promote while you're here?
Yeah, I mentioned it. I mean, it's part of the story where I mentioned fancons.com.
Yep.
Yeah, check that out. I've got every fan convention, and I try to have all the history going back to 1936. And so you can go and actually you can keep track of the conventions you've attended. So if you've got like 100 and some odd cons like me, you can remember which ones you were at.
That's awesome. Yeah, got that.
And you can rate them too, like 1 to 5 stars. So Wine Country Comic Con, I gave that a 1.
Was there no 0 option?
No, there's no 0. 0 is I didn't go. 1 is it was really bad, and 5 is it was perfect. So
wow. Amazing. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Patrick.
Oh, my
I'm sure
pleasure.
we will meet again. There will be more stories to tell at some point, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I could talk about Denny's reservations at San Japan, or when a Japanese guest asks me, looks right at me and says, "How much?"
What?
Yeah,
Wow, we don't
I
have time for
mean,
that. I'm so sad we don't have time for that, but
or the pants are coming off. I playing Doom with the cast of Mystery Science Theater. I could talk
oh,
about
yeah, that's true too.
yeah, I get stories going back decades. So
Amazing. Well, yeah, we're definitely gonna have you back on because
yeah.
these are great.
Well, I'll let you get some other people in first. I can take my turn.
Exactly. We'll run it back through again in a month and be like, so no one else came
Yeah,
on.
yeah. When you're desperate, just
Yeah. 2 in the morning. Patrick, where are you? Awesome. Well, thanks for listening in, guys. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as we did. Patrick, thanks again for coming out, and
mhm.
we will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.